Oh, right. Hello, everybody. Today we are going to be reviewing a movie that I guess I just kind of put off watching it for so long, which I don't really know why, but I guess I was just finally in the mood to actually watch it because I was just like, I could do with a comedy um, movie tonight, which is not, uh, which ended up kind of not being really where this movie went, even though it did have its comedy aspects to it, I suppose. So it's about these two friends who are living together, and one of them seems to be kind of like the, I guess, shut-in type. Like she doesn't really like going out and doing the whole party thing. On the other one is a party planner, so obviously she is pretty social and likes to go out and have fun all the time, and so on and so forth. And I guess that's what you would do when you're in your kind of younger 20s, I suppose. Kind of makes sense at the age I would guess they were at in this movie. Um, Yeah. So one of them is really into paleontology, which is the study of dinosaurs. Um, so one of them's nerdy, I would say, or nerdy or geeky, or however you would put that. And the other one is definitely not. So they're kind of opposites, but they've been best friends since they can remember. And then when Cassie, who is played by Victoria Justice, and Lisa, who is played by Midori Francis, who plays Lisa, uh, they go out for, I can't remember what birthday it was supposed to be. Um, Maybe 25, I think was what they said, which I guess, hmm, okay. I guess that kind of works with how old they actually are in real life. So I guess, yeah, she was ringing in her 25th birthday. And obviously, Lisa wants to stay in, and Cassie wants to go out and party with all of her other friends and have a good time. And when she gets back home, uh, she falls asleep, obviously, probably more than she should have drank. And when she wakes up, she goes to go into the bathroom, and her hand slips on the sink. She goes to grab the towel rack and hits her head pretty hard off the toilet. So not a great way to go, but I mean, she does end up dying. And when she wakes up, she's in this room with this older lady who I guess, is her guardian angel. Robin Scott plays Val. So now she has to, now that she's dead, she has to go back and fix. You don't really want to say fix, but she has to make things right with the people that she didn't in her, I guess, normal life, and she has 5 days to do it. So one of them obviously being her friend Lisa, and then her dad and her mom. So she obviously has the hardest time with her mother because her mother left her when she was very young age. I don't even really think she got to know her mother that well, and she's always been resentful of her mother for leaving her, which I guess is fair. So she doesn't really understand why her mother is on her list, but I think she has to, as we learn throughout the movie, she is the one that ends up having to forgive her mother for what her mother did. And she does end up reconnecting her mom and her dad together by the end of the movie, so she does make everything happier for everybody by the end of the movie. So her dad was played by Adam Garcia, and his name was Howie. And then Lisa's love interest was Max, played by Timothy Renouf, I want to say. And uh, Cassie's mother was played by Gloria Garcia. Her name was Sophia. And then Cassie's love interest, Coop, was played by Spencer Sutherland. And I believe that was, and then I guess Lisa's coworker, um, Raj, was played by Kiroshin Naidu, I want to say. I hope I'm pronouncing that right anyway. So, uh, Sophia has had another daughter, and I guess Lisa kind of makes a new friend, Emmy, played by Mafwani Warning. Oh my God, what a name! Whew, I hope I'm saying that right. And then Atara Vecchione was Morgan, so Sophia's second daughter, so I guess Cassie's half-sister. When she first sees that, she wants to be happy for her mom, but she also feels anger towards her for what she did, but I guess she is able to forgive her close to the end of the movie. And she is able to make her dad happy because in the very beginning, I believe it was it was Lisa that saw her, was able to see her first because she started playing humming the tune to I think one of Coop's songs or whatever that they always used to listen to together. And then when she comes back, she finds out that Coop has a whole new album, and um, Lisa's love interest Max ends up being just about as nerdy as Lisa is, I guess, in a sense. And he works on composing music for video games, and I guess he gets invited to this Coop shoot for a music video to see behind the scenes. It's sort of how things work. And obviously, when they're on their date together there, Cassie puts herself in front of Coop, like in front of the camera, even though she's dead, and she's danced away to him. And then Val drags her back into the in-between and says that, she only has so long to complete this list, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, Cassie goes back, and obviously after visiting her mother, I think was probably the hardest part for her, gets super angry, but Val says you can't bring that anger in here. And she goes, you're on the right track, and if you end things the way they are now, everything you've been doing so far will just disappear. You've got to complete the list to make things right with everybody. Otherwise, you go to the below, not the above. Those are your two choices. So obviously, we kind of know what that is, like the heaven and hell type deal. So yeah, she does end up completing the list, obviously with Lisa being the last one, even though she runs out of time before she's able to finish helping Lisa. And then her dad is able to see her in the movie because they're doing these like paper lantern things on the anniversary of Cassie's death, and um, he starts singing the song that he sang to her as a child because early on in the movie he couldn't quite remember it, I don't think, but I guess it comes back to him in that moment. So Lisa starts singing it as well, along with Cassie, and then Cassie is able to be seen by her father. So that was one of the touching moments, and I kept telling myself in the last scene that I wasn't going to cry, but I did again anyway. So yeah, just the scene with her dad was too much too. Too much to not make you cry. So, yeah, because it was definitely a touching scene for sure. But, yeah, and I guess Cassie was able to connect her dad and Emmy too as well, because Emmy seemed to be kind of by herself, and her dad was obviously by herself, and she wanted two people to connect, and I guess Emmy being friends with Lisa would obviously connect Lisa and her dad again, and so she kind of brought the whole gang back together, even including her mom. And yeah, I think now obviously being able to be seen by her father and reconnect with him was, I think, the thing that made her dad's name disappear off the list, because that's what he really needed, even though she was kind of putting subtle hints out throughout the movie as to get him to obviously start doing his yoga again, and what else? Yeah, just start being himself again instead of just giving up after Cassie had passed away. And he even says to her when he goes into her room at one point, when I guess he talks to her every night, that he's no longer with this other woman that he was with, and that he feels guilty for going on like normal when he feels like he can't, but he should be able to, right? And I think Cassie in the afterlife kind of sees exactly how her father, like how she may have felt that he was treating her, being a little bit overbearing at times, but I think she kind of realizes that her father was certainly trying to protect her more than anything else, even though he could be smothering at times, I guess. So she does learn that, and everything she does in the afterlife is definitely selfless. Uh, I know when she's starting to think about herself a little bit with the whole Coop situation, she gets dragged back to reality, right, and has to kind of center herself again and realize what her actual goals are, is to help her family and friends. So, yeah. But yeah, this was actually a really good movie. I feel like it got, I mean, it's only 9,000 people that rated it. It's not like it's going to be like a blockbuster hit like The Avengers or anything, but yeah, so I gave it a 10 out of 10 because I really did thoroughly enjoy this film. And I think it actually did deserve that. And then at the end, when she's going up to the above, she actually, all of a sudden, the elevator stops a second time, and guess who gets in? Coop. And I guess when he was at doing a disaster relief thing um, uh, and saving people, I guess disaster struck again, and he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time and ended up killing him in the process, even though he was able to save a few people. Um, Before that, he ended up getting killed in the process, yeah, so, and his I guess he just got a card sent right up to the above without having to do any list or anything. And I guess he was supposed to meet Cassie in the afterlife. So, and he said he felt like he always known her. And I was kind of wondering at one point whether he had seen her possibly in the video shoot, just because maybe because she felt a really strong connection to him, that maybe he was actually able to see her in the video shoot. That's just a theory. I don't know for sure. Just a theory of mine. Might not be true. Couldn't really tell you if that's true or not. But yeah, that's just what I was thinking. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for this movie, and if you have Netflix, I highly recommend actually going to watch it because I thought it was a really good movie. And I guess we'll see you guys in the next review. Bye bye for now.